Let us know when you're we're recording. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This is Daryl Bonilla. I'm with Chelei. We're with Aiono and Lindsay, and what an honor we have cast of the new film coming on Netflix, Finding Ohana. They're here with us today.
Aloha, Alex and Lindsay. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come and talk to us.
Yeah, of course.
We definitely wanted to ask you guys some questions. Of course, everybody's excited for Finding Ohana. I was lucky enough to get to see the film with my Ohana itself, and they loved it. I have two little girls, a 14-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they loved the movie. I'm rock star right now because I get to talk to you guys, so they're very excited about that.
Yeah, we love that.
Thank you guys.
We love
that.
Dad.
So I definitely would. We wanted to know. This question would be for Lindsay. If you doing the set, everything's kind of crazy. What was your go-to snack at craft services?
Okay, that's hard because on set, they had every snack and every food, and we had the best crafty that you could ever. They would come up with fresh food. But I think hands down in Hawaii, let's start with, we would have these acai bowls that were brought to us that were like, the best.
Nice.
And Alex, what would you say was the biggest challenge that you faced during the filming of this movie?
I think getting emotionally prepared for a lot of the roles, or not to give any spoilers, but there's some reunions that happen and some important family moments that really, I think as an actor was probably the hardest part, was getting there emotionally. But thanks to the amazing crew around us, thanks to Jude Wang, our director, and the production, helped kind of build a safe zone to really dig deep into yourself and get that done. Off camera, we were just talking about this. I had 3 styes, which if you don't know they're like dirt buildups that happen inside your eye that happen for no reason. And it was actually right after the scene that I was talking about before, where you have to emotionally be there, where you're crying and you're getting dirt in your eyes because your face is in the ground. I ended up getting styes from that, and I had to go. We flew from Hawaii to Thailand right after, and I had these 3 styes, and I had to go to a Thai hospital where they spoke very little English and trust these doctors who are incredible to cut the styes out of my eyes, literally open up my eyelid and cut it out.
Scrub
After they've cut it out, taking a Q-tip with alcohol or hydrogen peroxide and rub it out. The day of the little procedure we were working, and the day after the procedure we were working. So we had to keep it going. So that was definitely a challenge.
Funny you said painful. One of the things, being from Hawaii, we were watching it, and we got to say, one of the things that I really, really got a kick out of was how authentic those mosquito slaps were.
Oh my God.
So can you tell us a little bit about your experiences with the Hawaiian mosquito?
Oh my gosh. Especially, Lindsay should talk about this because she had to wear shorts. I luckily was wearing a long sleeve shirt and pants, so my body was basically covered, right? But Lindsay had to wear short shorts and a sleeveless shirt. And when we were filming in swampy, Hawaiian swampy, marshy areas where you're walking in mud. Lindsay, take it away, because you definitely had to deal with it more than me.
I'm lucky. So growing up in Hawaii, I don't know. Some people just have the blood that they don't bite. I'm that person. They don't like to bite me normally. So I was watching them this whole time filming, smacking them and getting bitten. I'm like, what mosquitoes? I don't feel it. The last night I filmed, it was a night shoot up in the forest. We were out in Kaneohe somewhere, and I don't know what changed, but they ate me alive. I probably got 50 bites in one night. And then we had Kea's party, her birthday party, the day after, and I couldn't even focus during the party because I was scratching my entire body. I never experienced that before, and it was the only time. I go back home now, I still don't get bit, but I don't know what changed. So Alex, I feel bad for you. I understand your pain. That sucked.
Yeah,
it sucked. And we're just so sweet.
Yeah.
I got the coco my fara.
Yeah.
So this is another question for Lindsay. We were very impressed with how much time and care was given into respecting the Hawaiian culture during this film. We learned that you guys actually filmed all of the cave scenes in Thailand because us locals know that caves in Hawaii are kapu. Tell us a little bit about how it was filming in Thailand besides the great coffee.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me just say I'm really glad to hear from you guys that you guys were impressed, because everyone took a lot of time, between the Hawaiians on set and even the non-Hawaiians, everyone banded together to make sure we were doing the best job possible to represent Hawaii and the culture correctly. And I mean, culture advisors, Hawaiians on set, born and raised. So it was really nice to be able to do that. And finding out that we were going to be doing the cave scenes in Thailand was actually, I think just proves how much we were dedicated to making sure the movie was authentic. Because if we obviously filmed the caves in Hawaii, we were told directly, it's not going to happen. Caves, they're sacred, they're couple. We're not going to bring film crews in there to desecrate the land. And we didn't fight it. We said, okay, that's it. So knowing that our producers respected that, and I knew Hawaii would be proud to know that, even though it's like we wanted to be super authentic and film everything in Hawaii as much as possible, but if it meant that we were going to desecrate the land, then we were happy to go to Thailand. It was a crazy feeling to be out there, and knowing that the reason we were there was to respect Hawaii was just like cherry on top.
And how did Finding Ohana, for both you guys, how did Finding Ohana find you guys? What was the audition process like for both of you guys to finally get the word that, hey, you got it, you booked it, you're going to be a part of the cast of Finding Ohana?
Before Lindsay and I ever met, which was at the chemistry read, and I can't speak for Lindsay, but I'd gone through at least 3 different auditions. And it was just, it's a classic movie audition process. You start with a big group of people, and not necessarily open, but they invite a ton of different people to see who can play each role. And then kind of each audition passes, and it's a smaller and a smaller group, all the way to the point of what they call a chemistry read. And also with every audition, it becomes a little bit more real, all the way to the point where you're sitting in a room with the director, the producers, and producers who have made iconic movies. And then eventually getting to meet at that time, you didn't know, like I didn't know when I first met Lindsay that we were going to end up, spending 3 months together on an incredible adventure. Same with Kea, and same with Owen.
My story was, very similar. Like he was saying, you're an actor in LA, you get auditions all the time, constantly, and it's the million no's before you get a yes kind of thing. And for me, I'm very used to getting my auditions through my agency, and this one was weird because it came directly to me. I didn't go through my agent. And funny story, I never really told this story. I almost missed the audition. I almost never made it. And they sent it to me like almost more than 2 weeks ahead. So life went on. I got crazy. I didn't really think about it. I didn't have my agent reminding me because it didn't come through my agency. And the night before, I was just super lucky. I had another Hawaiian friend that was auditioning for the movie, and she called me and she was like, hey, so like, are you ready for the audition tomorrow? I was like, what audition? And she's like, the Netflix movie. And I was like, I stayed up all night learning my lines, freaking out. I was so scared. And then I got there, and first of all, it was already funny as I got there because I knew they were looking for Hawaiians, but I was like, oh, come on, like how legit is it going to be? I saw people I knew from Maui there that I didn't even know live in LA. I was like, oh, this is legit Hawaii people. Hana was such a natural character for me to jump into. The writing was super obvious when I got the script that I was like, oh, someone from Hawaii has hands on this, because this is not like mainlander talk. This is actual Hawaii talk. Like someone from Hawaii is the one who wrote these lines. So it was nice to just flow into it super easy. It was like reminding me of home. And then I got the call from my management sometime after, and it was, oh my God. I worked my butt off in this town for that call. So it's like to finally get it, and then for me, always it's that full circle that born and raised in Hawaii, move away for opportunity. And my first big film is for Netflix. I'm playing a Hawaiian girl in Hawaii. So I was like, oh, life doesn't get better than this. So it was such a crazy, surreal moment for me.
I love it so much. I love it. And mahalo nui for representing Hawaiians on the big screen.
Of course.
I love seeing Hawaiian representation in our movie industry now. I think we pow.
Yeah.
Solid.
I'm not sure.
Like a good musubi, that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Oh, now I'm hungry. Great.
Thank you so much for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
I'm not as strong as I look. I only went to one CrossFit class. It was a free trial. Shut up!